First World War. Introduction. The 20th century had many significant events. There was severe competition between imperialists in Europe. This resulted in usage of weapons, lethal explosives, etc. The beginning of the 20th century is considered as Age of Conflicts due to fundamental changes happening. The conflicts involved death of lakhs of people. This also witnessed the direct or indirect participation of nations around world including India. Learning objectives. At the end of this chapter, you will be able to enumerate the causes of World War I and its consequences. Cite the effects of World War I. Introduction. The 20th century had many significant events. There was severe competition between imperialists in Europe. This resulted in heavy usage of weapons, lethal explosives, etc. in the war. This was followed by rise of dictatorship in many nations. Age of Conflict. The beginning of 20th century is considered as Age of Conflicts due to fundamental changes happening. The conflicts involved death of lakhs of people. The positive dimensions of the period was tremendous progress in the field of science and technology, destruction of despotic regions, spread of democracy, and experiments in internationalism. This period started with First World War in 1914. This also witnessed the direct or indirect participation of nations around world including India. The reasons behind the war were several and complicated. The reasons for war were: Number 1. Imperialism of nations. Number 2. Aggressive nationalism. Number 3. Militarism. Number 4. Diplomatic groupism. Imperialism of nations. During the 19th century, every nation in European continent wanted a market to sell their industrial products. There had been presence of European goods in Asia since 16th century. In the second half of 19th century, African continent was discovered. As Africa was undeveloped, European nations thought of profitability of setting markets in Africa. So they grabbed African and Asian regions to generate the raw material. Germany and Italy entered late in the imperialism. England and France were in the forefront and captured the important places in Asia and Africa. There was growing intense competition and hence rivalry among European nations for imperial expansion. The above situations led to World War. Aggressive nationalism. Before World War, European nations thought that while comparing to other countries' status is greater. Hence, expanding their territories played an important role in European politics. Some big countries in Europe became imperial countries to prove their nationalism. Germany, Russia and Austria were trying to capture new areas out of Europe. So, in this way, aggressive nationalism increased international conflict. Militarism. European nations thought that war was only solution to bring peace. This led to manufacture a large piles of arms and weapons in Europe. They justified saying that weapons are only for peace for the country and nothing else. Thus, they kept their military power confidential, and this resulted in intense European politics. Diplomatic groupism. Bismarck turned Germany into a powerful nation. He made his military force strong by powerful weapons. In 1866, Germany defeated Austria and France in 1870. In 1871, Germany captured France's provinces such as Alsace and Lorraine with the Treaty of Frankfurt, which belonged to France. Some prominent steps were taken by Bismarck. He managed to keep England and France separated, as they had traditional enmity since centuries. There was dispute between France and Italy about religion and communal issues. Then he included Italy in his group, and hence, in 1882, Triple Alliance was signed between Germany, Austria, Italy. Kaiser William II. In 1888, Kaiser William II became the Emperor of Germany. Following were the steps taken by him: adoption of aggressive colonizing policy and development of naval force with intentions of increasing trade and capturing new colonies. During his tenure, he acquired Caroline, Palau, and Mariana Islands from Spain for setting up new naval bases, obtaining rights from Emperor of Turkey to build railway line from Berlin to Baghdad, up to Gulf of Iran, to confront England in Eastern region. England, France and Russia strongly objected this, hence he could not complete this project. Reconstruction and repair of the Kiel Canal that helped German warships invade North Sea. Due to increased colonization, naval development of Kaiser William augmented conflict between England and Germany. Division of European nations into two groups. In 1902, a friendship treaty between England and Japan was made with a view to safeguard its trade and colonies in Asia. France was being threatened by expensive strategies of Germany. So, in spite of being conventional rivals, France and England decided to bring an end to their rivalry in 1904 by signing an agreement. Also, England signed a friendship agreement with Russia in 1907. This formed a triple alliance between Russia, England and France. On the other hand, nations belonging to Central Europe, Germany, Italy and Austria united another group, that is, Triple Entente. Hence, Europe got divided into two groups and started rivalry between them. This resulted in First World War. Political complications in Balkan region. The East European region under Turkey was known as Balkan region. Earlier, this region was at peace, but due to its geographical importance, England, France and Russia interfered into politics of this area. Also, the people began to protest against Turkey rule. Russia started exerting pressure on Balkan region since people in this region were slow. England and France felt that route to Asia via Mediterranean Sea would be at risk. Thus, they interfered in the region as they did not want Russia rule there. Austria also took interest as its boundary was touching Balkan region, while Bosnia and Herzegovina were the important states for Austria and Serbia. So, there was conflict between Austria and Serbia. In 1908, a political revolution took place in Turkey. Utilizing this opportunity, Austria annexed Bosnia and Herzegovina from Balkan region. Immediate cause of the war on 28 June 1914. An extremist Serbian citizen assassinated the Prince of Austria, Archduke Francis Ferdinand, in Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia. This happened to be the immediate cause of the first cause of World War I and its consequences. The assassination of the royal representative of Austria was the reason for the nation to oppress Serbia. Austria imposed unacceptable demands on Serbia. At that time, Russia supported Serbia. Hence, Serbia refused the demands of Austria, and as a result, the international conflict of First World War got underway. Austria declared war against Serbia on 28 July 1914. Austria's prestige would increase in Balkan region if it becomes victorious in the war. So, Russia assisted Serbia. Germany warned Russia to withdraw its army within 12 hours. But Russia did not pay attention to this warning and Germany announced war on Russia. Hence, Germany attacked Belgium and France. During this time, England remained neutral, but eventually England had to enter battle due to German aggressiveness. After communist revolution in Russia, the Bolshevik government came to power. and the new government made an agreement and stepped out of World War I. England had to enter battle due to German aggressiveness. The Bolshevik government came into power after communist revolution in Russia. The new government made an agreement and came out from the World War I. The German submarines targeted a ship named Lusitania, and the ship sunk, killing several American passengers. After this, the warnings issued by America were not attended by Germany. So, on 6th April 1917, America declared war against Germany. Allied countries started to blockade Germany. For Germany, there was no option but surrender. At that time in Germany, democratic government was established, which decided to surrender as per 14 points of American President Woodrow Wilson and signed on 11th November 1918, and First World War came to an end. Due to the control of the European imperialism, countries like India has an undesired involvement in the war. Later, analyzing the cause and effect of war, Paris Peace Treaty was signed on 1919-1920. The Versailles Treaty against Germany was felt as insulting and unjustified. Effect of the First World War. The First World War was during 1914 to 1918. Let's discuss the effects of war. Witnessed a huge damage and destruction of human life and property. 1 crore soldiers and lakhs of civilians died. Most of them who died in the war were young generation of Europe. During the war periods, European industries were collapsed. As a result, economic condition deteriorated. Shortage of essential commodities caused price rise. Except America and Japan, all countries faced economic crisis. In the world, America emerged as superpower. Royal rules in Russia, Germany, Austria-Hungary and Turkey came to an end. Defeated nations and their empires were divided into new countries, that is, Poland, Finland, Romania, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia. After the First World War, family system, traditional virtues and ethics were struck. In future there should not be such war. For this purpose, according to the 14 points of Woodrow Wilson, the League of Nations was set up in 1920. Summary. You have learnt the cause of World War I and its consequences. The effects of World War I.